What's going on, church family? This is Minister Shamad Cochran coming at you again with another midweek motivation. That's right, a message to inspire youth and young adults to be productive in every single aspect of your life. But I'm not going to hold y'all long. Let's go ahead and let's get right into the message and let's get this thing going for today. All right, and today we are going to be talking about the power of prayer. That's right, I said it, the power of prayer. And I think this is a very important message for youth and young adults to tune into because prayer is very important. It is a vital part of being a Christian, but it is also a vital part of making sure that we are productive in every single aspect of our lives. And so one of the things I love to do is when we study the context of the Word of God, or we look into the Bible, there are many times to where there are youth and young adults in the Bible that we can pull and use as an example for what it is we need to do and who it is we need to be in our lives. So with that being said, I'm going to be coming from Daniel chapter 6, and I'm going to be primarily coming from verse 10. So again, that's Daniel chapter 6. And again, my primary subject or the verse that I'm going to be dealing with is going to be coming from verse 10, but the verses that preceded are extremely, extremely important. For those of you who don't know, we are setting it up with Daniel. And what's going on is that Daniel is being very, very successful. The Bible actually says that Daniel actually had an excellent spirit. That means the boy was on point. He was that guy. And as a result of him being, on point and having an excellent spirit, Daniel is actually going to come into some haters. Because what happens is King Darius actually thought to set Daniel over his entire realm, which means Daniel was going to be running things at a very young age. And so as a result, he had a lot of haters. And these haters wanted to make sure that they saw Daniel come down. They didn't like his come up. They didn't like Daniel doing well in life. So they sought to come against him. But what's very interesting is the way that they sought to come against him. Instead of attacking Daniel in a number of different areas, they targeted one area specifically, and that was actually Daniel's prayer life. Because they realized that the one thing that helped make Daniel successful was the fact that he was a young man who prayed, who had a connection with God. And it was because of that connection with God that he was able to be successful. So his haters realized, man, if we want to get to Daniel, we have to find a way to stop him from communicating with God. Because again, they found out, or they knew, that it was because there is power in prayer. And again, that's the subject, the power of prayer. So let's jump in Daniel chapter 6, verse 10, and notice what the Bible reads. It says, "Now, when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, or the decree that King Darius put into place that no one could pray before the Lord," notice what Daniel did. He went home, and in his upper room, with his windows open toward Jerusalem, this boy is bold. He wants everybody to see what it is he's about to do. He knelt down on his knees, and 3 times that day, and he prayed and gave thanks before his God. But notice this. Here is the key part I want y'all to get. As was his custom since his early days. Yes, you heard me. Daniel knew I can be killed for praying, but I'm not scared. I have that connection with God. And because this has been my custom since my early days, or since I was a child, I am not going to stop. And that's what I want to encourage some youth and young adults out there, to be like Daniel and establish that custom of having a prayer life, making sure that I communicate with God every single day. Yes, you heard me, every single day. That's what I'm challenging you to do, to always be in constant communication with God. And for those of you out there who are thinking, man, this is hard, this is going to be difficult. No. It's not as difficult as you think. Actually, when we stop and think about all the people that we communicate with on a daily basis, why aren't we communicating with God on a daily basis? Some of us, you talk to your mom, you talk to your pops, you might talk to your boo thing, you might even talk to a pet or an animal that you may have every single day, but yet you will find yourself skipping that time to actually talk to God. And that's not right. That's something that we need to change. And again, we need to be like Daniel and make this a custom from our early days. Now, when we think about the word custom, I'm going to give you 2 basic words that are pretty much synonymous with the word custom. And I want you to think about a custom as being a habit or a routine. Again, that's a habit or a routine. So Daniel had a habit of praying and communicating with God every day, but it was also his routine to pray and communicate with God every single day. And here's why that's so important. Because when we think about a habit and a routine, if you can really get a habit down or get something in your routine, it's hard to throw you off of that. If you don't believe me, let's think naturally speaking. There are a couple things that I do every single morning when I wake up. Number one, like most of you, I have got to go to the bathroom. It's the first thing that I do. As soon as I wake up, I got to use the bathroom. Second, I'm going to brush my teeth after I wash my hands. But, I got to brush my teeth. And then some of us, you might not do this next one, but you definitely need to. And that's putting on deodorant. That's the next thing that I do. I have a habit. I have a routine. And although we may laugh from a natural aspect, let's consider that also from a spiritual aspect, because here's why it's so important. Because naturally speaking, if I miss any one of the three things that I just mentioned in my morning routine, I know that I missed it. If I don't use the bathroom, if I don't brush my teeth, if I don't put on deodorant, I am going to know at some point in that day, something is wrong, because I have missed a very, very, very important piece of my morning routine. But why don't we feel that way when it comes to communicating with God? See, some of us, we don't value that, so we don't make it a part of our routine. It's not a part of our custom to communicate with him on a daily basis. But I, again, want to encourage you to make that a key part. Because how much better would our lives be if the same way I felt about forgetting to put on deodorant, I felt the exact same way about not speaking to God or not communicating with God that morning? Man, how much more could I get accomplished during the day? How much better would my life be if I did view it that way? And that's what I want to encourage you to do. Because again, there are benefits to prayer, and we need to pray as youth and young adults. One of the reasons we need to pray is because we don't always know who we're chosen to pray for, if we're being completely honest. We don't always know what trial God is going to send our way that we need to conquer today. So we need to make sure as youth and young adults, we are conquering our prayer life. We're setting aside that time to chop it up with God one-on-one. And I know some people try to make prayer seem like it's deep and it's hard to do, but it's not. It's simple. Prayer is simply just communication with God. So the same way I might chop it up with my friend, the same way, I speak to loved ones and family members, I can talk to God the exact same way. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you this, I can talk to God and even be more comfortable talking to him than I would an actual person. Because again, I know he's there for me. He understands even when other people don't understand. So that's what makes it easy to talk to him. And I want to encourage a youth and a young adult out there that if you would simply make prayer a key part of your everyday routine, a key custom for you as a young person, blessings are going to follow. They are going to chase you down, and your life is going to be better, and you are going to see bigger manifest. So again, I'm Minister Shamad Cochran, and I want to encourage you as a youth and young adult to make sure that you are conquering your prayer life. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you go out and you conquer the world. And if you don't think you can, remember, you were chosen for this. From the city to the field, we win. You heard it from the bed, we win. From the north to the south, we win. From the east to the west, we win. From the city to the field, we win. You heard it from the bed, we win. Because you were so